YouTube. Sean from Top 5 Fit. Wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions and goal setting going into 2018. I'm going to go ahead and keep this nice and short and tight, but at the same time, the information that I'm passing across is, I think, valuable in the sense that it's going to give you the necessary tools to make sure that you're actually reaching your goals. I think a lot of times people start the new year with the best of intentions, but they go into it with extremely unrealistic factors around them, and that's where, the success rate turns into a failure rate that you don't really want to see happen, especially when people are trying to improve themselves. So here's some tips, some strategies, some things to think about now before January 1st even gets here. Okay, and I like to talk about things ahead of time, ultimately because the behavioral patterns that you change now are pretty much going to be the same patterns that you use at the first of the year to get you as close to your goals as possible. So instead of waiting and going through the holidays and ultimately slaughtering your diet and throwing training all off and that kind of stuff, we're going to go ahead and address this now. So number one, right off the bat, food, calorie consumption, all your intake over the next 2 months, you're going to have all kinds of baked goods, sugary items, high fat, high sodium items that are going to be coming at you. These are things that aren't necessarily, bad for you per se. Your mother's cooking, your dad's special pie, that kind of thing. These things are great to enjoy on the holiday. The problem comes in when they're lingering, when it's 2 and 3 days later and you still have these things in your home and you're nibbling at them. That's where you start creating a steady climb in weight, a steady increase in body fat. So right off the bat, be mindful of your food intake. Try to make sure that you're not eating that extra piece of pie right before bed. If you want to have a dessert, put it in the middle of the day and then go get a run or a workout afterwards. Be mindful of that. Pay attention to that. Number 2, hydration. Right away, talking to clients, I will hear, and this is very frequent, I hear this, I drink enough water, I drink a lot of water. And then they usually hold up a water bottle and shake it at me and say, see, I drink 3 of these a day. Well, when somebody replies, I drink 3 of these a day, what it tells me is they don't necessarily know exactly what they're taking in. They're just kind of locked into a pattern and they think that pattern is correct. It's not that it's not correct. But the advice that I give is, okay, so why don't you try to drink 1 more of those? Trying to tell somebody who isn't that up on their hydration and water consumption that they need to take in a gallon a day, that's not very realistic. And I try to be realistic with my clientele. So whatever they're doing, augment by 1. Pick up by 1 extra of the water bottle that you're using. And then I know we're starting to kind of push your norm as far as hydration is concerned, which is still going to give me the results that I'm looking for. Increased metabolism, better skin, better mood, so on and so forth. So what you're already doing, pick it up by a little bit. That should kind of help spur you into the first of the year as far as what you should be taking in once your training actually intensifies. Okay? Number 3, very important, alcohol consumption. Some don't want to drink at all, some like a beverage here and there. The point is, over the next 2 months, you're going to be presented with a lot of social times and atmospheres that don't normally exist during the rest of the year. So there's going to be a Tuesday after work, Wednesday after work Christmas party. There's going to be a Thursday get together with friends who are only in town for the holiday. All you're basically doing during those scenarios is increasing the amount of time that you're taking in alcohol in a given week. You could be a Saturday, Sunday drinker and it stops there, but now all of a sudden we have these extra 3 and 4 days that are happening during the week just because of your environment. Now you're starting to see a steady increase in weight gain, your mood is changing, all of a sudden your motivation is off. This is what we want to pay attention to. So right away, find an app, put it on your phone, whatever you need to do, but keep track of your alcohol consumption. Write it down or jot it down on your phone, type it in, whatever you want to do, and stick to it. I'm only going to drink on Saturday and Sunday. If I have something to do at work on a Tuesday night, I'll fill up the glass full of water and ice and a little bit of tonic water and just leave it at that. That way nobody's asking you if you're not drinking, why you're not drinking, or making you feel uncomfortable about your decisions. So alcohol consumption, pay attention to it. Try to limit it. Try to make sure you're not saturating your week with a drink here and there just because you're at all these events, okay? Number 4, try something new. You're gonna have some time off, you're gonna have some time on your hands. A lot of businesses like to shut down a few days before and a few days after the holiday. Well, the popular thing to do is to binge watch shows on Netflix or just basically sit down, kick your feet up and think, oh my God, what a horrible, year, and I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted. Use this time ultimately to try something new. Try yoga. That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going after yoga with a vengeance because I've never been able to do it. And I've noticed some mobility issues in my own body over the years, and I'm going to use that plus my own stretching techniques to try to improve upon them. But if you can go after something new, something fresh, your chances of becoming demotivated during that time are actually going to lessen because you're going to go into it kind of blank slate. And the only thing that you can do is learn. So use this this extra time that you're actually going to get because of the holidays to acquire some new skills. Learn some new fitness environments and see if maybe there's something you can add to your dance, okay? Number 5, and again, you would think this is common sense, but it kind of isn't. Start off slow. There are so many people that have a tendency to go into their training with vim and vigor, and they put all of their intensity into the first week or two, only to create an injury or to burn themselves out. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. At this point, the only thing you should be thinking about is frequency. How many days can I actually train in a row and still function at my job, at home, so on and so forth? Okay? So if you can focus in on those 5 tips, those 5 strategies, your rate of success is going to be beyond what the norm is for resolutioners who step foot in, which I believe is almost after the first month, like 85% drop off. You don't want to be a part of that 85%. Try to employ these strategies to make sure that you're actually reaching your goals. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out, especially going into the new year. I'm also going to be putting together a little bit of a series about my own personal experiences, learning and moving through the world of yoga. So look for those videos as well. Thanks again. If there's anything you want me to go over or talk about, or if there's something that's kind of on your mind, you want me to make a video about it, feel free to throw that information in the comment box and we'll get it done. We'll get it out there. But thanks again and talk to you soon.